Um, well, one of them is just a quick discussion, like, is crypto going to the moon in 2025 and beyond? Because I do have, let me see here. So, um, if you guys know Alex Becker, he retweeted this recently. President Trump and BlackRock are buying Ethereum like there's no tomorrow. This other guy that I follow is like, so we're all just gonna act like Trump and BlackRock buying, a ridiculous amount of ETH. Um, so I don't know, like people are bullish. Is crypto really going to the moon? Like for most of us uneducated lay people like myself, not a crypto bro. Um, I don't know where the future of this thing is. Obviously, like, yeah, I mean, we want some, unified digital, blockchain currency, but like really like I'm interested to see where the future of currency is and like if crypto like, because I mean, we're still trading dollars for value and it's just kind of like it's hard to exactly predict what the future of crypto and currency is going to look like. Like, should we be buying these digital bitcoins and stuff? Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think the future of crypto is very bright. I recently left my job at a startup innovating in the payment space using non-crypto rails, and I am so demoralized at the state of legacy banking payments, legacy payment rails in the U.S. The one sort of hope is something called FedNow, which the U.S. Federal Reserve is launching, kind of like a version of UPI, which is instant payments in India, or BRICS in Brazil, or sorry, not BRICS, it's PIX in Brazil. That's their instant payment system. Um, and FedNow is supposed to be that for the US, but I actually think that crypto is basically, I think dollar denominated stable coins are so much more efficient for moving money from a cost standpoint, compliance standpoint. Everything is actually more efficient. I think if dollar denominated stable coins are used. So I'm very bullish on crypto broadly. Bitcoin and Ethereum don't necessarily like those are kind of like stores of value at this point. Um, Ethereum kind of has its own use cases with smart contracts, but Ethereum is more like a platform. Bitcoin is a store of value, I would say. I don't think Bitcoin will ever use to do like transactions, like people buying and selling things in Bitcoin. Um, but crypto rails as a payment solution, I think are the future. And I'm not exactly sure how that future comes. I have some hypotheses about how it could happen, but it requires more and more banks and credit unions in the US start offering like crypto wallets as part of their offerings, which are FDIC insured and all of those things. So we'll see what happens here, but until you can use crypto to buy and sell things, um, I think it's going to be a bumpy road. But I mean, I'm bullish on the value of things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So overall, bullish on the stores of value, but also bullish on the actual use cases of crypto and payments and whatnot. There was
Yeah.
this really great post that Brian Armstrong, founder and CEO of Coinbase, put out a while ago about his thoughts on crypto. Um, I could find it if you have something else to talk about in the meantime.
Well, I guess my question to you and to folks in the comments would be, how soon do you guys think this stuff is going to really start like going as far as buying and selling stuff with crypto and crypto being like a mainstream currency? Like, are we talking a couple years, maybe 10 or 20, 50, What do you think? Like how close are we, Because I personally I invest in, the normal stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff in crypto because yeah, you just don't know, so I'm pretty risk averse, I guess you could say in that way. I'm just doing the traditional stuff. So you know, if this stuff is close, it's like, well, maybe I'm too late, or whatever, as far as investing for hoping for a return or appreciation. I'm sure, yeah, I mean, theoretically, like you could say that if the future for crypto is bright, why not invest a lot right now into crypto? Because, the technology is still, fairly early. It's not, universally adopted. And should we be investing into it like a lot? Or is this something that's still like hard to tell, like what's really going to happen? Is this just going to be like some bumpy side thing and we're better off investing into the S&P?
Oh, I mean, as far as investment goes, like crypto is just a store of value, I would say, like protecting your currency, but it's also very volatile. So productive assets like investing in companies are always going to be preferential, in my opinion, to investing in something like crypto, which is not a productive asset. It's just it's
Yeah,
either can be considered a store of value or kind of a bet almost. Like, is it going to go
yeah,
up or down? Like,
yeah.
um, I
And then
think
how
of it
close are we? How close are we
to what?
to it being like a productive like currency that's being used?
Well, a productive asset is something like, buying share in a company, and that company is actively trying to go produce more free cash flow than it's using, right? So like it's making more money than it's burning. Whereas a cryptocurrency is never going to be a productive asset unless like, yeah, no, it's never going to be a productive asset, right? Like you can buy stock in Coinbase, but that's because it's a productive asset. It's actually a company that's making money. That's what a productive asset is. You buy a house and
Yeah,
you rent it out. That's now a productive asset. If you buy a house and you live in it, it's not a productive asset. I mean,
right.
you could argue that it's productive because you're getting utility from it, but the point I'm making is that crypto is not doing that, right? It's just simply how much do people think it should be valued? That's all it is. It's
Yeah, yeah.
right. Well, here's the tweet that Brian Armstrong put out. I thought it was awesome.
You can
He
share your
said,
screen too if you want.
"Yeah, let me do that. That's a good idea. Let me know when you can see it."
Yep.
He says, "If you think of Coinbase like a bank, we now hold about 0.42 trillion in assets for our customers, which is 420 billion, which would make us 21st largest bank in the US by total assets and growing. If you think of us more like a brokerage, we'd be the eighth largest brokerage today by AUM. If you think of us like a payments company, to be honest, I'm not sure where we rank on that list. There are various ways to measure it, but there were about 30 trillion in total stablecoin payments last year. Not all of those were goods and services, though. I imagine that's like actually buying and selling things, like buying and selling other crypto with stablecoins. Um, the point is, with crypto, the line between these categories is blurring. There are many legacy reasons these are separate in the traditional financial system, and not all of them are good reasons. Why does the money you spend lose value instead of growing in value like an investment? Why does your checking account not earn yield like a savings account? Or better yet, like short term treasuries? Many people use Coinbase to invest, but also to spend, get a loan, etc. In the updated financial system, you will have a single primary financial account which serves all these functions. A greater percent of global GDP will run on more efficient crypto rails over time. We have sound money, lower friction transactions, and greater economic freedom for all. So, I think it's a great way to frame, what he's like
Yeah,
the landscape for crypto. It's interesting because there are lots of use cases for crypto abroad, but the US has this aversion to it because US dollar is a reserve currency in many parts of the world. So um, obviously the US government is not going to be excited to adopt a currency that is different from its own reserve currency. However, if you have a stable coin that is dollar denominated, US doesn't have to lose its reserve status because each cryptocurrency is just kind of like you can think of it like a digital twin to an actual dollar. And the US can
mhm.
continue to print more dollars if they want and have the same control over the currency. So I think cryptocurrency as a concept has a lot of utility when it comes to making payments more frictionless and more auditable, more secure, lower cost. There's so many benefits, but there's a lot of collaboration that needs to happen before it becomes mainstream in the U.S. I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's good.